Okay, let's learn what is exactly the Dunder function is. Have you heard about polymorphism? Like operator loading, which means we have an operator like plus. How Python uses it? It depends on the situation. Like if you want to add some numbers like this, like we have two lists right now, and we want to add these two lists. What actually Python does? If you want to add our what is in my mind is I need to add this element with this element and this element with this element. But does Python actually does this? No, Python concatenates with both lists. Or when I try to add these two numbers like 3, 4 plus 4, 5, what Python actually does? Python actually adds 3, 4 and 45 and results a final number. Here both operators are same, but the actual functionality depends on the situation and purpose. Okay, Python has inbuilt classes to do this. Like according to the situation, the operator works. This is called polymorphism. But if we talk about what exactly Dunders are, let's think. We want to use this plus function for some other function which we are going to define. Suppose, do you know about complex numbers? Like I have 3i plus 4j. Okay. This is actually the combination of a real and imaginary numbers. Like I wanted to add one real number and with a real number and imaginary number with imaginary number. That how actually the complex numbers works. Like if I want to add two complex numbers, Python doesn't have any inbuilt function to do this. Like Python would have like in math module, like we are working on Dunders. Let's consider how to add this, how to define our own function to add these complex numbers. Let's write the code for the complex numbers. Okay, due to time constraints, we have the function for complex numbers. What this function actually does, I'll explain this function. See, I have created a class, and this is a constructor. And what this constructor is saving the values that I actually sharing. The values which I send, this actually stores the values in the current object. This self refers to the current object. And then what? The next function defines that we need to print the self dot real means this real number plus I plus this real number plus a. Okay, this is how this function works. And how this add function works. Uh, like I'll remove this add here, or else yes, okay. I'll remove this add and I'll remove this sub function also. Okay, what actually happening here when we call function add? Like I will call s2 dot add of s1. What actually I'm doing? I'm passing an object as a parameter to another object. And here, those object which is being received by this function. Sorry, by this method. Okay. This method is receiving one object and we actually pass it. And we are referring to the object s2. Okay. Here the self refers to the object s2 and s1 refers to the object which we have created earlier, like s1. S1 have 3 comma 5. Okay, let's run this. I'll run it again. See, actually printing the both, but where is the sum? Actually, we are calling like we have already created the addition. I mean, we have already created the result, but actual thing is we need a reference to refer the result. Let's say we will store this in the reference object like s3. Okay, everything is going good. Let's call the function show from this reference object s3. S3 dot show. I'm calling. Okay, let's run and check what exactly we are getting. Yes, we are getting the addition of those two complex numbers. Okay, good. This is the general function. But what we want to do, we want to do like we want to add these two objects directly, not like just calling through another object. Let's say I want to call this like s1 comma s2. What does this actually print? Let's put them on print statement. Actually, does it print something? It prints an error. See, actually we haven't defined the functionality of this plus operator. If you ask me how to do this, let's talk about the dunder concept right now. Like dunders are basically the things like we will define this dunder with our specific functionality that which we wanted to do with this plus operator. Like dunder starts with double underscore and a dunder like add and double underscore. Dunders are predefined. There are some dunders like 5 or 6, like add, sub, mul, and trunk add and multiplication and mod like this. Let's do this. Let's make this work like s1 plus s2. I will just add underscore in front of this add function. We made a dunder. Let's actually what I do is I store these values in S3. Okay. We're doing just S1 plus S2 and we define the functionality of this plus as add. Okay. This is our dunder function. And let's print it. Let's print dot show. Let's run this. Yeah, it's actually working. So we define our own functionality of this plus using a dunder. Okay. Like this, we can subtract. Like if I write S3 is equal to S1 minus S2. For this, I need to define the functionality of minus. Like I will define, I will copy this. I'll paste this here and I'll write as sub and I'll just remove this or replace this positive sign with a negative sign. Okay. And I'll print this. I'll run this. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we're getting the exact outputs that we needed, that we expected. Okay, actually, this S3 finally stored some resultant values after execution of S1 plus S2. Here, the new values will be reflected directly in this decorator. Okay, it reflects the new values automatically. Hope you understood about decorators.